we go through the morning. Some of those problem spots that we know about right now, Kyla mentioned right near Coney Island. That's an area with a lot of standing water. We're also going to be dealing with some high water on 275 at Kellogg there. Sutton, there's an area of Sutton that's closed due to high water in Anderson Township. Sounds like a lot of the areas that have problems seem to be on the east side of town there, where Randy says the rain is the heaviest. A tree on a vehicle, Rio Vista and Turquoise in the Anderson Township area. Nobody in the vehicle at the time. Clinton County, or rather Claremont County, says there was lightning that struck a house around 4:30 this morning in Pierce Township on Hopper Hills Farm Road. No one hurt. But crews were out there this morning. A lot of lightning in this storm and a lot of heavy rainfall as well. This is a morning where if you can push back your trip to work, it might be the smartest move to make because the rain is still coming down very heavy. You also want to watch the radar, watch the forecast this morning because where those storms are coming through are really going to tell you a lot. You know your neighborhood best. You know the problem spots that are close to your house. So if you think you can make it, maybe you can, but you might run into some problems this morning. It's also worth a reminder, don't drive through standing water. Don't drive through water-covered roadways because especially this time of the day when it's still dark out, it's almost impossible to tell how deep that water is. And once you've run into a problem, it's really too late for you. You've already, maybe stalled out your car or run into a trouble spot there. So we'll be watching things to keep you up to date with the traffic, with weather, with everything you need to know here this morning. Reporting live, Andrew Setters, WLWT News 5.
All right, Andrew, and the lightning we saw behind Andrew was pretty intense. Here's another look at the roads for you in Live Drive 5. Photographer Kevin Rue is heading toward the east side of town. We've been hearing from Randy and from Kyla. The roads appear to be a little worse in this area, a lot of standing water. Kevin's headed toward Coney Island, where we're hearing there's some ponding, possible flooding on the roadways. Stay with WLWT for complete coverage of the weather throughout your morning. All right, time now 6:07. In Commitment 2016 news, Hillary Clinton will officially accept her party's nomination as Democrats close out their convention today.
Nicole Killian is in Philadelphia now with a preview.
Mark and Lisa Aid say that Hillary Clinton will lay out her vision for the future in what's considered to be one of the biggest moments of her political career.
Ahead of her acceptance speech tonight, Hillary Clinton made a surprise cameo with President Obama after a rousing endorsement.
And now I'm ready to pass the baton and do my part as a private citizen. So this year in this election, I'm asking you to join me to reject cynicism and reject fear and to summon what is best in us to elect Hillary Clinton as the next president of the United States.
The president promoted a message of optimism and hope, drawing contrast with Donald Trump.
Our greatness does not depend on Donald Trump.
A running theme throughout the evening from Vice President Joe Biden.
He has no clue about what makes America great. Actually, he has no clue, period.
To VP nominee Tim Kaine, who gave an impersonation.
Believe me, it's going to be great. Believe me.
Clinton is also expected to take aim at Donald Trump in her speech tonight and outline her policy proposals. But before she steps to the podium, she'll be introduced by her daughter, Chelsea. In Philadelphia, Nicole Killian, WLWT News 5.
6:09 your time now. On the other side of the race, Donald Trump sparked new controversy when he encouraged a foreign government to hack into Hillary Clinton's email. During a press conference in Florida, Trump said he hopes Russia finds the more than 30,000 emails that were deleted from Clinton's private server. At one point, Trump had a heated exchange with the press and refused to back down.
Do you have any qualms about asking a foreign government, Russia, China, anybody, to interfere, to hack into a system of anybody's in this country?
It's up to the president. Let the president talk to them.
Does that not give you pause?
No, it gives me no pause. If they have them, we might as well find. Hey, you know what gives me more pause? That a person in our government, crooked Hillary Clinton. Here's what gives me more. Be quiet. I know you want to, save her. That a person in our government, Katie, would delete or get rid of 33,000 emails.
The Clinton campaign is now accusing Trump of encouraging foreign espionage against an American. Well, it's been more than a month and a half since the shooting tragedy at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando.
Today, a vigilant community discussion is taking place here at home at the Freedom Center. Several organizations are working together to make this happen. If you would like to attend and honor victims, this event goes from 4 until 6 o'clock tonight. going to work in Lower Price Hill.
The focus for hundreds of volunteers looking to help out on the west side.
And Outside Live on your Thursday. Again, we have team coverage for you of the heavy downpours happening right now throughout the area. And Randy, flash flood warnings as well.
Yes, that is specifically for portions of southern Hamilton County, Claremont County, Kenton and Campbell counties. And right now you can see where the most intense rainfall is right there along 50, continuing to batter folks in Batavia, Williamsburg, Amelia, now in through the 275 loop. It's kind of shifting a little bit further northward, Norwood, Wyoming, Finneytown, Newtown right now seeing some of that heavier rain, and it will continue to drift to the northeast. So next up will be Milford, Blue Ash, Sharonville, Westchester, and Loveland. And again, that rainfall rate is at times upwards of 1 inch to 2 inches per hour. There's also another cluster of heavy rain moving toward portions of Ohio and Switzerland counties. I'll keep an eye on that. So currently our flash flood warning right there for portions of Claremont County, and the rainfall rate, it's lightening up a little bit, but at times it was 1 to 2 inches of rain per hour. So watch out for the flooded roadways, as we've been saying throughout the morning. The steady rain will be with us through lunchtime, a little more scattered in the afternoon. We'll continue to track the potential for flooding when we come back. Thanks for waking up with Cincinnati's WLWT News 5 today.
You're watching Cincinnati's WLWT News 5, leading the way.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Heavy rain continues to fall at 6:14. Flash flood warning still in effect. We'll check in with Randy in just a moment. First, we want to check and see how this heavy rain is affecting the commute. It can get hairy in a hurry.
We are seeing some pretty big issues out there. So high water is something Randy and I have been talking about since early this morning, because we knew it would become an issue, especially in areas, Coney Island, which we mentioned, of course, and we're seeing closures on Kellogg right there in front of Coney Island. I also want to highlight 7175. You're looking at about 40 minutes right now if you're heading from the split in Walton all the way into downtown Cincinnati. You're going to slow down here, as you can see at the cut in the hill. Traffic barely moving, stretching all the way back to Dixie Highway now. So really you're going to start to tap the brakes anywhere near the 275 interchange. Of course, construction off and on in this area as well. So I'm really hoping this doesn't linger too long through the morning commute as we get more and more volume out there, and as we potentially see that construction ramp back up. So about 40 minutes again from Walton as you hop on 7175. Still seeing those closures here on 275. So at the bottom of the ramp at Kellogg, this is why they have closed it, because we do have vehicles that are stuck at the bottom of that ramp heading toward Coney Island, where we have all of that high water. So you will have to continue eastbound here on 275, hop off at 5 Mile, and then wind your way through any of those side streets that make sense for your commute if you're heading through Anderson Township. Coming out of Butler County, not looking too bad north and southbound here at Union Center, just starting to hit the brakes heading southbound. We'll continue to track this for you and let you know about those closures. We will check again in a few minutes. Mark and Lisa.
All right, Kyla, thank you. Happening today, volunteers heading to Lower Price Hill to give the neighborhood a boost.
WLWT News 5's Megan Mitchell joins us live right now to tell us about this really big project. Megan, good morning.
Good morning, Lisa. And it's going to be a big day for the community in Lower Price Hill. And by 3 p.m. today, there's going to be a major facelift happening to the community areas just at like Evans Park, which I was at just an hour ago. And there's also some big names who are coming to make it all happen. So you got P&G, the Reds, the Cincinnati Zoo. They're all sponsoring this beautification day to really give back to the communities that they serve. And there's going to be about 400 volunteers from those communities or from those companies and more making their way at about 9 this morning to Evans Park, and then the makeover, of course, will begin. There's going to be 3 main areas that are going to be worked on, including Evans Field and Playground, community gardens, and the SB Center. There's also going to be some big upgrades and cleanup efforts at all of those spaces. So the big goal here is to make changes that will have a lasting, sustainable impact, including, reducing operating costs and energy usage as well. And a newcomer to the event this year, Kroger, they'll be joining in along with the nonprofit Resource as well. The projects will end at about 3 p.m. There's going to be a closing ceremony at the community gardens. Lisa?
All right, Megan, thank you. Time now 6:17. We are staying on top of severe weather with reports of flooding throughout the greater Cincinnati area. This is video of lightning shot by our chief meteorologist, Kevin Robinson. This is in the Pendleton area. You're definitely going to need your umbrella, and you're going to need to take it easy when you head out. A lot of standing water. Randy Rico is here with details on a flash flood warning. Randy.
Yeah, you can swap out the flip-flop for galoshes this morning because we do have standing water in many locations, specifically heavy in through downtown and the near eastern suburbs, including Anderson Township in California. Right now, you can see Butler County, Warren County, even Clinton County. You're getting some rain, but it's not nearly as bad as it is just a little further to the south. We'll take a look here at our current warnings. Green indicates a flash flood watch. That's for most of the area that's seen rain this morning. But the area of most concern is the flash flood warning that is up for southern portions of Hamilton County, portions of central Claremont County, and also extreme northern Campbell and Claremont County, Hamilton and Kenton counties until 8:15. Basically, downtown Cincinnati, Fort Mitchell to Taylor Mill, Highland Heights, in through California and Anderson Township, in through Batavia and Owensville. This was the hot spot for very intense rainfall right at the onset. It's obviously a very muggy day, so we're looking at temperatures in the low 70s, but producing rapid rainfall on the average of at times 1 to 2 inches per hour. And I want to zoom in on the spots that are most likely to be dealing with any flooding right now, and that does include areas just south of the river, in through the Cove there. You can see Wilder, Kentucky, California, Mount Washington, Mount Lookout, Anderson Township, near California right now. That radar indicated upwards of 3.5 inches of rain. So the radar estimate might be off a little bit, but this is actually where Kyla has been hearing the most reports of flooding through the morning. I'll zoom this out and you can see where that more intense batch is headed right now, continuing to batter folks from Batavia to Mount Orb, slowly drifting north into northern Claremont and northern Brown counties. Also northern portions of Hamilton County now getting impacted. So heavier rain for those of you near Wyoming, moving up toward Sharonville. The good news is, while it was easily 2 inches of rain per hour as it rolled through areas Cincinnati and just off to the east, it's a little bit less right now, but still very intense. So the potential for some flooding conditions will exist through northern Hamilton County, through northern Claremont County as well. I'll show you a wide view here, also keeping my eye on some flooding potential just outside of our area, Ohio and Switzerland counties in Indiana. You also may be dealing with some more intense rainfall that could produce flooding here over the next couple of hours. All of this riding along a warm front lifting through our area. Temperatures right now are in the low 70s, the dew points sky high, so we get these torrential areas of rainfall, and they'll continue with us through lunchtime. Once we head into the early afternoon, that's when we start to see the rain break up a little bit. It will still be around through the evening hours, but if you do have any evening activities, less likely that we'll be dealing with the heavy rain. It's definitely going to be consistent through noon, in some towns through 2 and 3 p.m. before it starts to turn more scattered second half of the day. So for today, 82 degrees, rain and thunderstorms, obviously some locally very heavy, indicating the possibility for some flooding. And we do actually have that flood watch into tomorrow morning because some spots could end up today 1 to 2 inches of additional rainfall. Tonight we're dipping down to 68 degrees. Stray rain will remain. Tomorrow will not be like today. Today is the one washout of the 7-day forecast, especially in through the morning. Tomorrow you're looking at 84 degrees. And as we take a look at the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, still muggy, mid-80s with a chance for isolated pop-up thunderstorms each afternoon, Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the latest on the radar and also the flooding situation impacting areas of greater Cincinnati.
Good morning and welcome back. 6:24 your time, checking out Live Drive 5 as the rain continues to fall. Wet roads all around greater Cincinnati this morning, and we're also getting reports of high water.
Let's check traffic right now. Kyla, good morning to you. Sounds like we have some big problems right now.
Yeah, we do in a couple key areas. So we want to cover those for those of you getting ready to head outside right now. First, starting off on one of our eastern communities. If you're traveling through the Anderson Township area or California, you're probably waking up this morning thinking, I'm probably going to run into some high water because you know that you've heard that rain outside falling, and we are dealing with those closures right there in front of Coney Island along Kellogg. You will also see closures on Sutton. We also have closures at the bottom of the Kellogg ramp. So 275 right here at Kellogg, as you exit there, there are vehicles trapped in that water right there at the bottom of the ramp. So they're closing a portion of the lower half of that ramp. You'll just want to continue traveling eastbound there on 275 and hop off at 5 Mile and wind your way through Anderson Township. Also a report of a vehicle trapped as well in some water north of here on the lower deck of the Brent Spence Bridge. So the brakes are getting tapped here on the lower deck, and it's also causing delays all the way back to Dixie Highway. You're looking at 45 minutes from the split in Walton. Let's check in now with meteorologist Randy Rico, who of course has been keeping a very close eye on these storms as they move through the area. Randy.
All right, so we're taking a look at the areas of most intense rainfall. Obviously, your eye is drawn to the areas with the red indicating the heaviest rain. The good news here, the most intense rainfall that was at times upwards of 2 inches per hour. That rainfall rate is lightening, but it's still coming down really good in the northern portions of Hamilton County. So we'll focus up to the northern part of the 275 loop, Wyoming, DeKalb-Rayne, Finneytown, White Oak, in through Madeira. Right now, that's where you're looking at the most intense downpours and the most frequent lightning. And of course, that is drifting north, which means it'll impact the northern part of the 275 loop here fairly shortly. Also continuing to watch that rain trail along 32, Williamsburg up to Marathon, 5 Mile, Mount Orb, all looking at intense rainfall. On a wide view here, you can see another batch about to roll into portions right along the Ohio River in through Ohio and Switzerland counties. So any of these have the potential of producing rapidly rising water or standing water on the road. So keep that in mind through the day. We'll be in the low 80s. We're going to see a good morning soaker and then more scattered thunderstorms possible into the afternoon. Mark and Lisa.
Okay, Randy, thank you. It is the final day of the Democratic National Convention, and Hillary Clinton steps into the spotlight after another night of endorsements from Democratic leaders.
Lightning, rain, flooding, and problems all over the place with people driving through high water. We're going to have a look at all of the breaking news coming up right here on WLWT News 5 today.
A light show overnight as storms roll through greater Cincinnati. That reports of damage and what's still to come this morning.
Tonight's her night, the finale for the Democratic National Convention and the big moments from day 3.
And Donald Trump sparks new controversy while some are accusing the candidate of espionage after his comments on Hillary Clinton's email scandal.
From Cincinnati's WLWT, leading the way, this is WLWT News 5 Today.
A good morning, everyone, as we take a live look outside with heavy rain falling all around the metro area. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Mark Hayes.
I'm Lisa Cooney. Randy Rico, Kyla Woods here with weather and traffic together. A day of true team coverage because we have some problems out there.
Yeah, and we've seen our vehicles getting stuck in the water. Of course, Randy and I always encourage you to not drive through any high water. It's really hard to tell. You know, when you're coming up on it, it might look like it's low, but it could be much higher than it really is. So you really want to avoid doing that. We've had some closures, Coney Island being one of our major areas that are seeing some closures there on Kellogg. So we'll cover that for you in greater detail in just a moment. But of course, the rain is going to be what everyone's kind of waking up to and thinking about in their area.
And the storms woke up a lot of people overnight just with the intense lightning that we've had, very torrential rains at times. All of this because it is so incredibly muggy outside. You don't get sprinkles. These storms tap into that and you get very intense downpours. And that's what we have this morning. Localized intense downpours that are causing flooding concerns. So right now the areas in the red, obviously indicating the heaviest rainfall, and the rainfall rate in those red zones could be 1 to 2 inches per hour. Let's start out by zooming into the northern part of the 275 loop. Heavy rain falling in through White Oak and Finneytown in Wyoming, kind of moving through Glendale, Silverton, all dealing with the heaviest rain, and this is drifting to the north. This looks pretty intense, but it was actually worse as it crossed over the Ohio River, and that is where right now we have the flash flood warning still in effect until 8:15 for portions of Campbell, Claremont, Hamilton, and Kenton counties, anywhere from downtown Cincinnati in through Taylor Mill, Kentucky, all the way in through Owensville in Claremont County. This was the spot of the most intense rainfall 4 and 5 o'clock this morning, where they picked up in many towns upwards of 2 inches of rain. In fact, if we take a look, zooming on in here, Mount Washington in toward California, in through Anderson Township, parts of Fort Thomas, in through downtown and the near east side, you could have seen radar indicated upwards of 3.5 inches of rainfall. So anytime, even if this is off by an inch and you have 2.5 inches of rain, that obviously can cause standing water and a big time problem for you as you head out the door. It has not been as intense in portions of areas of southeastern Indiana north of 74 and Butler and Warren counties, but that more intense rain batch is crossing over 275. So I would expect folks in Westchester and Mason to start to see some of that heavier rain. Also keeping my eye on the rain that's moving into portions of of Carroll County, Kentucky. That's pretty intense as well. That could cause some flooding concerns right there near Sparta over the next hour or so. So everybody is dealing with steady, in some places very intense rainfall and some fairly frequent lightning, though it looks like the lightning show is slowly starting to die out for us. As we take a look at the flash flood watches, they're up for most of the area and they'll continue into tomorrow morning because an additional inch or two is possible. You definitely need to watch out in those low-lying areas. So the planner for today, steady rain, heavy rain through the morning. By lunchtime for some, it'll start to become a bit more scattered. So sometime between noon and 3, most towns will go from steady rain to more scattered rain, which is what we'll get this afternoon. It stays muggy and temperatures topping out near 80. All right, let's get over to Kyla because we have a lot to talk about as far as high water causing problems. Kyla.
Yeah, we do. So we saw that high water, Randy, earlier this morning on the lower deck of the Brent Smiths Bridge, causing some slow spots here and a really slow stream of traffic here on 7175 northbound, stretching all the way back. You can see here the cut in the hill barely moving at a very, very slow pace all the way back to Dixie Highway, but it is not stretching south of Dixie Highway, at least not yet. So you're still looking at about 45 minutes as you head from Walton into downtown. 275 on that eastern portion of the loop here as you head toward Route 32 and Claremont County. Still slow north and southbound here. Want to remind you about that closure as well. 275 eastbound at that ramp heading toward Kellogg, and you're seeing flooding there right in front of Coney Island as well. So a few things to keep in mind. Also from our eastern communities, you may see heavier volume on Columbia Parkway as folks heading from the Anderson Township, Mount Washington area tend to use Columbia Parkway instead if they're seeing issues there near Coney. Here's a look at 74 in Montana, east and westbound, a report of an accident heading westbound. Lisa and Mark.
Okay, Kyla, thank you. Our storm coverage continues. Some wall-shaking weather overnight as the storms hit the greater Cincinnati area.
WLWT News 5's Andrew Setters keeping an eye on the damage reports and flooding. Andrew, good morning.
Good morning, Mark. Yeah, we've got heavy rain, lightning, and all at a time when some people are sleeping, other people trying to get up and get on the road so they can get to work. It's a recipe for a mess, and we've got it this morning. We've got reports of a water rescue underway on Sutton Road, or Sutton Avenue, rather, a flood-prone spot, so it's not surprising to find out that they are there working, dealing with that. We've got live pictures from the Anderson Township area there where we're running into some problems. Reminder, standing water or anything that looks like it might be flood water, don't try to drive through it. You may make it, you may not, and if you don't, you're dealing with a mess. Cincinnati firefighters on the scene of a fire in the 900 block of Dana Avenue. We've got some pictures of that. It's unknown if this is weather related, but it looks like the fire started high up on the roof of a building there. It's entirely possible that's a lightning strike. We have seen a lot of lightning this morning. Also, a report of a transformer struck by lightning, wires down at 5th and Greenup in Covington. We also caught video of cars driving through huge puddles and high water on Beachmont Avenue near 5 Mile. Take a look at this video here. These cars going through water that is quite deep. It is impossible, especially when it's dark out, to judge how deep that water might be. You are kind of taking your own safety into your own hands there, potentially running into some problems. It doesn't take a lot of water to stall out your car and cause a problem. Luckily, we have not seen a lot of power outages. I checked with Duke Energy, about 1,600 power outages this morning. With the sun coming up now, as you're getting up and getting outside, if you've got pictures of storm damage, send them to us. You can tweet at us or on Facebook, hashtag WLWT, so we can take a look at them. Make sure you stay safe, though, while you're taking any pictures. We'll be sure to stay on top of everything and bring it to you. Reporting live, Andrew Setters, WLWT News 5.